Hey, this is Chad with Bulldog Field Equipment. Today we're just kind of going over some basic steps and actually installing a pitching rubber, taking one of the old pitching rubbers out and actually installing a new one. Today that's going to be helping and kind of leading the project. Josh Mardan, he's the groundskeeper with the Salem Red Sox. We got Matt Bird, a new intern here at the Red Sox. So we'll be going through some different steps today on actually how to install a pitching rubber. Let's talk just real quick about some tools that kind of you would need or things that you would have to have on hand to kind of make this an easier process. We borrowed a transit from the city, and then we got different instruments. We got a line level, we got a laser level, and then these are some few tools that you may need just to kind of get the project started. So what we're trying to do here is actually we'll measure back a foot behind the home plate to actually get everything out of the way, and then we'll run a string line straight through the mound and through second base, and the mound should line up perfectly right on that string line after it's installed. What we want to do here is make sure we're 10 inches above home plate, and then we'll set the string for 10 inches, and then we'll pull a string all the way out to second base and line it up and get as tight as we can at second base. We've already actually pulled it through the mound. Josh is actually installing the pin a couple feet behind the peg, and it runs right through the center of that peg. So that's where you want to, everything comes to the center. So that's where you want to keep your string. And we'll check this right away. Once we check this right away, we'll know the string's right, and then we can move forward. This is the most important part. We'll get this 10 inches, we'll check our line level, and everything should follow suit as we're moving out there. All right, when you have, if you can get your hands on the transit, obviously it's the best way to do it. Makes things pretty simple. What Josh is doing now is we're getting a benchmark off the home plate using the transit. We're getting the signal, so it's pretty much keeps it dummified. Now what we're doing now is just checking, make sure we're still in the center so we don't lose that center, pulling the new one out and putting a new one in, or pulling the old one out, putting a new one in. We're dead on at 1 foot, so we're good to go. When you actually get a pitching rubber, it's never exactly 2 feet. And it's supposed to be 24 inches, but it seems like either they're less or more. But so when we talked about production and stuff, we made sure that ours was exactly 2 feet or 24 inches. We use our straight edge. So that's our reference point when we start. All right, as you can see now, Josh is kind of clearing the table off, the landing area, and that's perfect. I know it's windy today. It's kind of hard to do anything with these soft tapes, but worked pretty hard on getting this thing out of the ground. So we're here along the back edge, and then this far corner. But obviously we're going to pop our string, we're going to measure and stuff again. But here's kind of the pitching rubbers side by side, and this is kind of what the whole point of Bulldog Field Equipment kind of got started was, you know, having a pitching rubber the perfect size, and the other thing, with the meat of this rubber, not able to get deformed and stuff. Now if we try to take this and actually flip it and try to put it back in the ground, this corner here is actually oblong and shifted, so that corner's off, and then trying to get this thing back level is probably next to impossible. I mean, if you pull it out of your game mound, if you only had one season, you know, you probably could put it in the bullpen and nobody'd say anything, but obviously we'd want you to buy Bulldog Field Equipment pitching rubber so you can put this thing in the ground, pull it out of the ground, flip it and put it back in the ground with no problems. Using a box for something besides shipping, I thought it was a pretty good idea. Kind of first things you want to do before you get this thing level is make sure that hole is where it needs to be. We'll help them out with the table. We'll finish out leveling this thing up, and looks like we've done what we're supposed to do.